Hello students, welcome to Capman Academy. Today we are going to discuss about essential components or the major biomolecules which are actually very important for the organism's growth, right? So these major biomolecules, simply we say they are of various types according to their structure and their components. So first major biomolecule is your carbohydrate. Second one is your lipids. Third one is your proteins. Fourth one are your nucleotides, or as you can say, your nucleic acids. So all these are your major biomolecules and they all are very important for the animals or organisms growth. Right? So now we are going to discuss one by one all these major biomolecules, how they are helpful, what type of functions they do, and what are their structures also. So first we are going to see about the carbohydrates. So first question arises, these carbohydrates, how they are actually being synthesized. So simply if we say in the plants, the carbohydrates are being synthesized by the process which is called photosynthesis. And in that process, what happens in the presence of sunlight, your carbon dioxide and water react with each other. And this reaction is called chemical reaction. And they actually leads to the formation of glucose, which are your sugar molecules, and the liberation of the oxygen. Right? So glucose, which is here being formed, that has an empirical formula that has been shown as CN, H2N and ON. Right? And these sugar molecules then further when being consumed by the human beings, they are used for the different type of biological processes in the organisms. Right? So this is the basic, this is how your carbohydrates are actually being synthesized in the plants. And now we will see the structure of the carbohydrates. What is the structure of carbohydrate and how they are actually being synthesized, right? So first of all, first thing about the carbohydrate is their definition. What is the definition of the carbohydrate? Right? So it has multiple definitions. For example, sometimes it is called the hydrates of carbon. Hydrates of carbon. Due to what? Due to the specific ratio presence of your carbon and water. Due to this, these are called hydrates of carbon. Sometimes, and very popular definition is, they are the polyhydroxy aldehydes or polyhydroxyketones, or the compounds which upon hydrolysis produces these type of compounds. They all are called carbohydrates, right? So these are the basic definition of the carbohydrates. They are called hydrates of carbon, in which they are denoted by the empirical formula CN, CH2N and ON. So this is very important. Sometimes question can be asked from here. And also they are called polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones, or the compounds which produces these compounds upon hydrolysis. Right? So next topic comes, what is the classification of carbohydrate? How actually you will classify the carbohydrates? So the carbohydrates are actually classified into different categories. The famous one are monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So as you can see by the names, monosaccharide means there would be one sugar molecule present in the structure. When they are talking about the disaccharide, there would be two sugar molecules will be present. In case of oligosaccharide, 2 to 10 sugar molecules will join together and they form a chain of sugar molecules. And in case of polysaccharides, more than 10 and up to 1000 units of sugar molecules will join together and they form the complex polysaccharide structures. So according to the joining of the carbohydrate, they are being categorized into different categories. So these are the famous ones: monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. Right? So these are the example when we are talking about the monosaccharides. So the basic unit of the sugar are the glucose, fructose, and galactose. In case of disaccharide, they are sucrose, lactose, and maltose. In case of oligosaccharide, we have raffinose and stacchose. In case of polysaccharides, we know about starch, glycogen, and cellulose. So these are the categories of the carbohydrate. And now we will discuss about one by one about these categories. For example, number one category is our monosaccharides. So as I told you, monosaccharide means the basic unit of the sugars.